Okay. It says that we're live. What's up, everyone? Oh, damn, we got 14 people in here already. The laptop quality looks much better when it is well lit versus before. All right, so I don't have a video ready for today because it's been cold and nasty, and I want to make sure that the video that I'm making turns out as good as possible. So I figured we'd do the first live of the year. What's up, Sean? What's up, Jackie? What's up, Spencer? What's up, Yamaha Alpaca? That's a funny name. What's up, Carvids? What's up, Life with Style? You know what? Here's how we'll start it off. I'll grab the Ducati so you guys can finish. See it finished.
What's up, everybody? As always, I'm going to be reading the comments from my phone because I can't read that far away. So, what's up, Mike?
Who, Mike Rivera?
Yep.
What up, Mike? Oh, Nikes. What the hell? There we go. All right, who have I missed? Slight, what up, man? What up, Mike Rivera? AC, what's up? What's up? All right, so let's start things off. For those of you who are watching the last live stream, boom. We got the Ducati finished. And by we, I mean I. Pretty freaking badass. The last live stream was 4.5 hours of building this, and it took an extra 1.5 hours outside of that. But it's done and it's dope. So thank you, Link, who I haven't seen in here yet. What up, Sindre? Happy New Year's, everybody. Link's in here. Oh, there's Link. What up? What up? Love the Grom in the living room. Top tier decoration. We got the Grom there. And then we got Nina's Navi over there with my new bicycle. What is this thing down here? Y'all can hear me, right? Because doesn't it seem like that microphone thing should be going up?
Yeah.
Told you. Okay, yes, they can. Cool. It seemed like you could, but I'm like, it feels like the microphone bar is staying at the bottom green thing. It's not like going up. All right, cool. Well, for those of you just joining, I don't have a video ready. I'll give you a sneak preview. Not a sneak preview, but I'll let you know that the Honda Navi, which started out as I was going to keep it stock and then turned into should I destroy it or not, has now turned into quite the project. So expect more Navi build videos soon because I have spent, what was the number that I said? Since buying it, I've spent $800 on parts for it. So get ready for $800 worth of parts to go on the Navi soon. All right, let's start off. I'm going to do some Q&A because I'm not able to get to my comments as much as I like to, mainly for my mental sanity's sake, because the bigger the channel gets, the more the trolls come out. So figured it would be good to get in here and answer some questions, whether you have personal questions about life stuff, like some of the questions were like, what kind of music do I listen to and stuff like that, or whether it's questions that you've been wanting to ask about, sometimes we get questions about what's a good first bike, what's the difference between the Rebel 300 and 500, what's the thing you like the most about the 1100, stuff like that. So whatever questions you have, ask them, and we shall see which ones get answered. But we'll start off with some of the ones that got left on the community page last night. And I guess I'll just start at the top. Moto-1100 left 10 questions. All right, so they left 10 questions. Comment 1 through 10 which one I should pick, and whoever comments first, I'll answer that number. So 1 through 10, first person to comment. 5. Link was quick with it.
That's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, y'all are fast.
There's a lot of 7s also. So I'll answer 5 and then I'll answer 7. Number 5, would you ever personally use full height boots, motocross or MotoGP length boots? If so, Which style do you like? The adventure / dual sport series from Alpine Stars, or more like the SMX line? So I'm not familiar with either of those lines that you mentioned, just because I've never really looked into boots. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the best with gear, and I just ride in Vans. I know it's not. Oh, hey, mom. I know it's not the best to ride in Vans because there's not any protection at all. But I come from a BMX background where I feel like I need to feel all the inputs that I can, which is why I run thin gloves, and I like shoes where I can feel where they're at all times. I know it's not good though. I do want to get like actual riding shoes, but they wouldn't be boots. The times that I would use boots are if and when I get a sport bike. I think boots would be good because if I get a sport bike, I'm not putting around at 40 miles per hour like I am now. I would like to get into like actual track days and stuff like that. So I would need like sport bike boots. And then if and when I get an adventure bike, I think it would be smart to get adventure style boots for when I do like serious adventure riding. So hopefully that answers the question. And then, everybody's saying hi to mom. Hello, hello.
Saw that.
And then number 7, since a bunch of people commented 7. Oh, this one's actually funny. Is Nina going to try to talk you into getting a sissy bar for the Grom? Would love to see it. Rooting for Nina on this one.
That's funny. So actually the first bike I ever like rode with you was the Grom. Literally like 2 days after we met, we were out in the parking lot and I was on the back of the Grom with you.
Mm-hmm. Just putting around the parking lot.
Yep.
I don't even know if they make sissy bars for the Grom, but
I don't need one because I could just hug you if I was on the back of the same with the Navi. Like I could just hug you if I needed to.
And it's not fast enough to where if we hit a bump and I whiskey throttle, you're not going anywhere because the bike's not going anywhere. All right, so there were those 2 questions from Moto-1100. And then let's check some comment questions. Let's see. Can you wheelie a Grom? I could, but I don't know. This comes up all the time. I want to use the Grom to learn how to wheelie better, but my Grom is in such good condition. I wish it was more of a piece of crap so I didn't care about messing it up, because I have wheelied it before, but just little baby wheelies. I would love to get good at doing wheelies on it, but in order to do that, there's the risk of crashing, which means that I should put crash bars and a 12 bar on it, which I'm fine with doing, but because I have the OG Grom, which is the 2014 and 2015 Grom, it has a high mount exhaust instead of low mount. So in order to put the protection on, I would need to do a low mount exhaust. So then it goes from being $300 to $400 worth of protection equipment to now having to add in another $400 or $500 for a low mount exhaust. So short answer, I can wheelie a Grom, but it's the worst, babyest wheelie ever. The plan is to learn, but I've been saying that for a year, and I'm just too scared to mess it up because it's in such good shape. It's impossible to find a Grom in that good condition. So I'm just being a little wussy boy. But I would like to get into that. And then I saw Jackie say, any upcoming upgrades for the 1100? Yes, lots of them. I actually, the other night, I went from thinking like, dang, it's really nice that I have the Navi to do a build series on because I've done so much to the 1100 that like, how much more can I do? How much more content can I get out of it? And I started thinking, and I'm like, I'm nowhere near done with it. And I made a list, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things just on this quick list.
I don't even think I knew there were that many. Ooh, okay, I didn't know about those. Oh, I didn't know that one either. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, plenty of modifications for the 1100 coming. Some of them are going to stay a secret until I'm done with them, but the ones that you guys know about, I still have to get the dyno tune done on it because I already have the power commander on there, but I want to get it professionally dyno tuned, so we got to do that. What else do they know about? I'm afraid to say anything that they don't know about. I might have posted it. I might not have. And if I haven't, then I'll just say it. I have Burley brand crash sliders and Burley brand radiator guard that I'm going to put on. And that might be, and the front suspension. I still have the Burley brand front suspension that I haven't put on yet because I want to take it somewhere to actually have that done for me. I think those are the only 3 things out of the 11 that you guys know about. So the rest will remain a surprise. But yes, plenty of upgrades. I've been tossing around the idea. I'm like, it's really like buying new bikes gives such an opportunity to keep content coming because you have content about buying the bike, you have content about reviewing the bike, and then you have content building the bike to how you want it. But then I'm realizing that I start doing that and I get sidetracked from the fact that that money could be used to build like the most badass Rebel 1100 on the face of the planet. So I'm stuck in limbo between what the best option is or what I want to do. All right, what other questions do we got here?
Spencer asked us 3 times if we put our bells on yet. We have not even touched our bikes since Christmas. So.
Yep, haven't even been able to take the covers off the bike since then.
Yeah, it's been so like cold, and then we've been talking about how windy it is too. Like the cold is manageable, but not with the wind too. So.
Yeah, like what do we say today is? Right now it's saying that it's 43 degrees, which is like, I could ride in 43-degree weather if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But if I had to make content, I would do it. But there are 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which bring the wind chill to 37. So the wind chill is 37, and then you get rolling at 50 miles per hour on a bike, and now it feels like 20-something. Mm-hmm. Screw that.
Yeah, but we are excited to put those bells on.
Yes.
We have not forgot about them.
Very excited. I've thought about, so the bell is supposed to protect you, right? I've thought about putting it on like the Grom or something because I get myself in the most trouble with the Grom. Like it would make sense to put it on the 1100 because it's the most powerful, the most capable, whatever. But I've dropped the Grom like 3 times. I've almost been hit by a car like 4 times on it because nobody ever sees me. I'm like, I might need the most like protection force field around me on the Grom, you know? Let's see here. Sean Amond, will you test ride the Rebel 1100T when it comes out? Would like to see a test ride. I've thought about test riding it, but I don't really see a point in test riding it because there's nothing different about it other than the windshield and the bags. I did just find out about a local dealer that has one on their floor right now. So I had thought about going there and doing like a walk around video and showing the differences and stuff. But as far as a test ride, I think it'll be hard to find a dealer that would let me test ride a new bike because then they have to sell a new bike that has however many miles on it instead of actually being brand new. But also I don't really think there's a point in doing it because I have an 1100 manual and then I've ridden the DCT already. So really the only thing that the review would really cover is how well freaking cat is scratching the wall. That review would really only cover how well the windscreen does and if the ride is affected at all by like the bags catching wind, you know? So I would definitely like to ride one. I just think I would probably have to wait for somebody to buy one that trusts me enough to ride it. I don't see a dealer wanting me to ride it, but I would like to at least check one out in person. Mark Gadd, how do you clean/oil the chain on the Rebel 1100? Looking for a compatible paddock stand. Was wondering how you get on. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I've only oiled and cleaned the Rebel 1100 chain once. I know that's not good, but I'm a firm believer in big lube trying to take us down, you know? I think it's a perpetuated myth. I think it's a good thing to clean and oil your chain, sure, but every 500 miles that some people do, I think is absurd, and I don't think that the time spent doing that really adds that much mileage to the chain. I'd rather save a half hour a week worth of time and have to replace my chain in 10,000 miles instead of 15,000, you know? But with that said, actually, hold on. I'll show you what I use. I keep leaving.
Oh
you
gosh,
alone.
I know. I never know what to do when he leaves me with you guys.
You have to entertain him.
I
Come
know
on.
what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do when he leaves with you guys. Like, hurry back.
All right.
I someone said jazz hands. Literally me anxious.
Yeah, nothing helps her anxiety like getting loaded up on Rise Up Coffee and then leaving her alone with a bunch of strangers on the internet. All right, so
hi guys.
this stuff was given to me by a subscriber named Jamie. He sold his bike at one point and asked if I wanted it. What did I use? That, and then they have this also, but I didn't use that, I don't think. So I got this brush right here. I didn't use this. You can use it if you want. But yeah, so I literally just jack the bike up, which I'll talk about how I do that in a second. I put some, damn, that smells strong. Smell that. Cleaner. I jack the bike up. I'll talk about how I do that in a second. And then I put a piece of cardboard behind it so that when I'm spraying this stuff, it doesn't get anywhere on the bike. I take the chain cleaner and I spray that on the part of the chain that's showing on. So I spray it on the bottom of the chain so it doesn't like drip down on the swing arm. So the bottom part of the chain that's showing, and then I rotate it until I see where it hasn't been on there. I spray it until the entire chain is covered. I let it set for like a minute or two, and then I scrub. You put the chain in there and scrub the crap out of it. So sometimes I'll just sit it there and roll the back wheel so the chain goes through it, or I'll scrub it as it goes. Wait until the chain looks nice and clean. Sometimes I'll do that like maybe 2 or 3 times, depending on how dirty the chain is, since I do it so infrequently. And then once that's done, I take a rag and I wipe the entire chain off to get all that stuff off, make sure all the dirt and grime is off. And then after that, I put the cardboard back behind it and I hit it with some chain wax to get it all nice and lubed up. And because it's wax, it like kind of coats the chain better. It doesn't drip off like, like just regular lubricant. I think you're supposed to let that sit on the chain for 10 or 15 minutes because it kind of like solidifies into the wax. And then once that's done, I wipe the rag on it to get any excess off so that it doesn't splatter or anything like that. And then while I'm doing that, I'll usually like take the rag that has a chain cleaner on it and like wipe off the back sprocket or whatever also. So yeah, sounds kind of in depth, but really all it is use the cleaner and the brush to clean it off, then wipe it clean, and then spray chain wax on it and wipe off the excess chain wax.
I should learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I won't have to do it for a long time. I don't have that many miles on my bike, but
that can be one of your springtime YouTube videos.
I know.
Showing everybody else how to do it. I'll walk you through it again, and then you can walk them through it.
Yeah.
All right, and then part of the question also was what paddock stand I use and how I jack the bike up. I actually don't use a stand to jack the bike up. You could, and I think some people have had success with just like the Harbor Freight ones, but then also Pitbull makes ones that are a bit more expensive. The issue with the Rebel 1100 is with where the exhaust is. Unless you get the Pitbull stand that's designed for it, lots of the stands interfere with the muffler, so you have to take the muffler off in order to do it. The Pitbull stand alleviates that. What I do is I just have a regular car jack, like a floor jack or whatever for a car, and there's a bar on the rear swing arm, kind of like behind the oil pan, and I just rest it on there and jack it up just enough that the rear wheel is off the ground. And that's just because I already have a car jack, so what's the point of buying a paddock stand if I don't need it? And it works. And if you want to see how the paddock stand thing works, I used it in the video where I installed the Burley brand suspension. So you can go check that out. And then also Gus from On the Rebel 11 sent me this. I'm not sure how much it is because I feel like it's not great. You don't get a present and then go check how much it costs, but I'm pretty sure they're definitely cheaper than a paddock stand is what I'm saying. And this is kind of like a travel jack. So if you don't have room in your house or you need something to take on the road, this thing is great. I've shown it before. Essentially, this thing unfolds. This part goes on the ground, and then the rubber pad goes underneath your swing arm, and it just snaps into place and lifts the wheel off the ground just enough that the rear wheel can spin so you can clean your chain that way. So this is more the design of this is so that you can take it on like road trips and clean your chain as you go, but you can also just keep this at the house and use it for quick chain cleanings also. So yeah, Snapjack, sponsor me. Have there been any good questions since I started that?
We got Ben in here, Link, Fran, Quasi.
Ben's in here. What's up, Ben? Everybody congratulate Ben because he got his bike fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And then everyone was saying, when's our Rise Up sponsorship going to happen? About that.
Rise Up sponsorship would be great, but Rise Up better count their freaking days.
Yeah.
Nina spent an extra 47 cents today to get an extra tater tot sauce, and they didn't even give us the tater tot sauce that was supposed to come with it. So we paid extra. We were supposed to have 2 tater tot sauces, and there was only 1. So they better count their freaking days.
Yeah.
And I wonder why people don't want to do brand deals with me.
Too honest for your own good.
Yes. All right. What?
Ben says bike not ready.
Bike's not ready. What the heck?
What happened?
Why is the bike not ready? Oh, Honda Surface would not go into gear. Not go into gear? Dang. I'm trying to think of why that would be. That's weird. No frickin' bueno. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Congrats on fixing the nut brown Navi. You got an upgrade as well from Arbiter 6452. Thank you. And I don't think you were in here when I was saying it earlier, but I have a ton more parts that are going to go on it. I no longer want to destroy it. I now want to upgrade it and then destroy it. Not actually, maybe.
Great.
It's gonna be a mix between a very tastefully modified Navi and a mix between an absolute beater that people can use when they're in town and that I can not care about. Link said, I got to pay off credit cards before I continue modding my Rebel or Grom. Shit, wait, you're supposed to pay those off? Imagine. Same, honestly.
Oh, and Sochi Prosper's in here too. I forgot to mention that one.
Oh, what up, Sochi Prosper? What's going on? Spencer said, been picking up 55 to 65 degree weather down here. Man, quit bragging. Nice. I know. I wish. Scott Andrews picked up my Rebel 500 yesterday. Can't wait to get modding and riding. Thinking forward controls first. Hell yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, forward controls will be a good first move. I'm a mid-control guy, but if you're not, the Rebel 500 can feel pretty small. So those forward controls will probably make a huge difference. Harambe's homeboy. Malasi Variator kit for Navi arrives on Tuesday. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Did you buy it through my link? If so, thank you. Because just from buying it through my link, I think I got like $2.97. So I appreciate you for using my affiliate link. Slight. Wish Honda did riding days like Harley Davidson. Yeah, that would be great. Harley's really good at making sure that people get on their bikes, which remember that I said that when some things happened this year. Anyway. Let's see. Don't make this awkward sing to us when I walked away. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Fran said, I use the same stuff on mine. Did you take my recommendation? What recommendation? I can't remember what your recommendation was. Oh, do you mean the recommendation to use that stuff? If so, no. I got it for free. I probably would have bought it anyway, just because I've heard that it's so good. But yeah, all the chain stuff I got from good old Jamie, one of the subscribers that lives nearby. And when he sold one of his bikes, he gave it to me. Soundwave. I know it's most likely a very common thing already, but are there any brands that manufacture and sell forward controls for Rebel 500s? And is it a common mod game changer for tall folks? Cheers. Yeah, it's pretty common. Let's see if I can remember the companies off the top of my head. Dang, I can't. I think T-Rex makes forward controls for the 500? Question mark. I know they do for the 1100, so I think they do for the 500. Depretto Moto makes them, but they're based out of like Italy. Those are more expensive. I think they're like $600 or something, but they're really nice looking. And then there's a company called Takumi's World International, Takumi. I believe they make forward controls also. I think they're based out of Thailand. They make a whole bunch of stuff. They make exhausts for the 500 and the 1100. They make handlebars, all kinds of stuff. I was actually chatting with them last night about possibly making me some handlebars. We'll see if that happens. Oh, Ben bought a 3D printer. Mod's coming soon. I saw you got a 3D printer.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to see what you can make with that for the bike, though.
That's really cool. In our like little neighborhood, we have this person they're called a printer clause, and they're anonymous, and they make all these really cute 3D printer things. So like now they're on Christmas stuff. So it's like Christmas trees are popping up everywhere. And then he just like leaves them out in the neighborhood, and the kids go on walks and find them. And the whole point is you're supposed to like pick it up and then have it for a few days and leave it somewhere else for someone else to find. And it's really cute. So the 3D printed stuff is really cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, what's up, Quasi? I didn't even see Quasi come in here. I'm still scrolling down, catching up. Ben said another Southeast USA meet being planned. Stay tuned. Hell yeah. Keep me posted on that as soon as humanly possible, though, because this is going to be a very busy year for me. And I want to make sure that I can get there and not have to rush this time. I would love to be able to be there and not have to fly in, borrow a bike, and fly out the next day.
That was crazy.
It was ridiculous. So, yeah, definitely keep me posted on that as soon as you have any specifics. All right, let's go to some of the questions that were left on the jaunt last night. Let's see. The next one says, how did you and Nina meet? We've talked about that before. The short version is chicks dig bikes, man. What can I say? Chicks dig bikes. So, you know, sometimes you buy a motorcycle and they just come flocking, and, you know, I just happen to choose her out of all the girls that flocked to me from my sick bike.
That's not how the story goes.
I don't know. No, the short version is literally it's because of my bike, but we happened to be at the grocery store at the same time. She saw my bike, and then we both left at the same time, and she said, "Hey, sick bike." And I said, "Hey, sick face. Do you want to hang out sometime?" And the rest is history. Maybe I'll make a video for like Valentine's Day going over the full story.
That'd be cute.
But also in there it says, what are your other hobbies? I like motorcycles. I guess my other hobby would be my new bike. I've always been into all things two wheels. So that's my new, damn, my head looks crazy from this angle. That's my new 26-inch BMX bike. I grew up riding BMX. As a kid, it was just kind of like riding around, hitting like little Walmart jumps or whatever, those little plastic things. But then in high school is when I started hanging out with Toppy, aka Alex, aka A Topper, who you've seen in a lot of videos before. Go subscribe to him. But that's when it got kind of more serious, and I started learning tricks and breaking bones and throwing myself down large stair sets and doing all kinds of sketchy stuff. And then I kind of grew out of the BMX stuff, mainly because I didn't want to get hurt. And I switched to a mountain bike. Loved doing that, but I ended up selling that because I wanted to get a different mountain bike. Ended up getting a dirt jump bike. Didn't use that quite as much. Then sold that and wound up with this, which I feel like is a good middle ground between like kind of just like a bike that I can commute on. Like I can ride it however far I want to because it has the big wheels, but it'll still take all the abuse you can throw at it because it's built like a BMX bike. And yeah, so I bought that with Christmas money, trying to get back into, I feel like I love all things two wheels, but I've put that fixation on motorcycles so much because of the channel that I've lost the fun and health aspect of a BMX bike. I'm like, oh, wait a second. I can ride this thing with two wheels and have fun, and I don't have to pedal. This is great. And now I'm out of shape and miserable. So yeah, I guess that would be the main hobby, is getting back on the BMX bike. And then one of my hobbies used to be cars. I used to love modifying my car, and I fell out of that because I got into real estate and had to have a fancy grown-up car because nobody wants you to sell their $1 million house pulling up in a Civic hatchback slammed on the ground, revving up. So I would love to, once I have enough money, get back into car stuff, because cars were my first love before motorcycles. It's just motorcycles are cheaper and easier to work on, and I get paid from doing it because of YouTube. So I want to start working cars into the channel every now and then somehow. It's just I don't know how the algorithm will respond to it or how my wallet will respond to it. I'd say those are my main hobbies, yeah. Oh yeah, I was answering from the thing. Keith Dosick, when are we going to get an ADV Birch? You'd be tearing it up on an adventure bike. Soon. I really want to get an adventure bike. I have a bike planned to buy this year, which is more adventure oriented, but not fully adventure. And that's all that I'll say. But stuff like that, I really want to get into more this year. All right, let's see what we got going on in the comments. Have you seen anything exciting, babe?
Dustin Todd.
Huh?
Dustin Todd said, I picked a Rebel 500 for my wife because of you two. We both enjoy watching your channel. Thank you for doing this. That's really cool.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Happy that we could inspire you and lead you in the right direction of the bike for your wife. It's like the perfect first bike. Hence, her having the 300 is her first bike.
Yeah.
Somebody said Birch level 100 smooth talker. Hey, y'all. You see Link. How did Birch and Nina meet? Birch played that. I don't know if you know, but I'm a famous YouTuber.
Which is kind of funny because I literally put my window down and I was like, hey, is that an 1100? A Rebel 1100? Or what I say? Hey, is that a Rebel?
Yeah.
Is that a Rebel? And then we were chatting, and then you handed me a sticker, and that was the first exchange. Was you handed me a sticker?
Because, listen, she could have been a gold digger, so I'm not going to hand out my phone number. So I had to hit her with the "Here's a Life of Birch" sticker. I said, that's me on all socials. The only Life of Birch. Look me up, hit me up in my DMs, and if I see it, maybe we can link up sometime. And luckily for her, it happened to pop up in the sea of... Never mind. Oh, man. I just saw something. Yamaha Alpaca, just curious, have you thought about moving south to avoid the riding off season? We have, but the issue is every time that we're like, oh, we could move somewhere nicer, we go and visit anywhere and we're like, oh, this is nice. Like our brain starts going like, oh, this is nice. I could see us living here, whatever. And then as soon as we get back to this area, we're like, there's no way. There's no way that we could leave this area. I just freaking love it. Love it. So as ideal as that would be, I just don't think that we could do it. And even though down south you avoid some of the winter, summers get so hot here. I wouldn't want to go anywhere where the summers are any hotter. We had talked about like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia area. So it's not like too far down, but it's one of those things where I just don't know if it's worth the hassle. And it would only make sense to move somewhere that's cheaper than here so that we have more freedom to do whatever we need to, because money doesn't go very far in Annapolis. But it's like, what's the trade-off? Because there's so much stuff around here. Like I always say, where we live, we're 10 minutes outside of Annapolis. We're a half hour from Baltimore. We're 40 minutes from DC. We're 2 hours from Philly. We're 2 hours from the beach, the Atlantic Ocean. We're 2 hours from the mountains. We're like, 4 hours from Tail of the Dragon, 4 hours from all the mountains up in New York, 4 hours from New York City. we're just so close to everything that it's like an endless supply of content and like stuff that we can do in our actual life that doesn't turn into content. So as good of an idea as it sounds, I just don't think it makes sense.
Not yet, but when we're rich and famous, and we can be snowbirds. And then we can
Yes.
have a house wherever we want and a house here. And when it gets too cold here, we'll go to the warmer house. And then
No, literally. I would definitely love to have a house in Annapolis and then for the winter have something in like South Carolina or Georgia or something like that so we can kind of escape everything. Or maybe a place in Texas. We can go visit Quasi over the winter.
yeah, that'd be cool. I've never been to Texas.
Yep. Actually, neither have I. All right. What else we got? Fran said, "Are you currently using that adapter?" No, I'm using the using my laptop. It's annoying because when you set up a live stream, there's certain things that you can't do setting it up on your phone. You can only do setting it up on the computer, like doing subscriber only mode, which has cut down on all of the spam stuff. But once you set up the live stream on your computer, you have to do it from your computer. You can't do it on your phone. So the quality is not as good on the computer. So I wanted to do it on my phone, but I had to do it on the computer. I don't know. It's weird. Arbiter said, I just enjoy working on my 2014 Honda Accord Sport 2.4 liter. I learned how to wrench on cars, saving myself money. Those skills relate to working on motorcycles too. Yeah, that's how it goes. I started off working on, I had a 2002 Civic Si, and I did a bunch of stuff to that. What did I do? I got Megan Racing coilovers, HKS exhaust, either engine or AEM intake, I forget. Flash the ECU with K-Pro software, did a partial gut of the interior, some cosmetic bits, wheels, tires, a bunch of stuff. And that's like where I learned like mechanic stuff, is just working on that car with my friends. That's kind of like where I got the love for everything. And the Accord Sports are dope. I actually have on my TSX that I have right now, I have Accord touring wheels on it. I was looking at getting the Accord Sport wheels, the like kind of like Ninja Throwing Star looking things, but I thought those were kind of played out from like the standpoint of people putting those stock wheels on other Hondas / Acuras. So I ended up with the touring wheels and they look sickening. Kentucky Tim, what's up, man? He's the one that lives by. So he said, I'm considering trading my Rebel 300 for an ADV 150. Honestly, I would do it. I saw an ADV 150 in person for the first time the other day. I've always loved the way that they look, and I love the idea of taking everything I love about the Navi and the Grom and just making it even more convenient and more capable and more off-road ready. And they look badass in person. And they start off at, what's the MSRP? Like 4,300. So you figure you could sell your Rebel 300 and walk away almost at a break even for the ADV 150. I say do it. Those things are freaking sweet. Quasi said, just bring your cowboy hat, boots, and guns.
I would buy boots just to come to Texas.
I didn't mean to read that in a Southern accent. I think I had there's something going on in my brain today. I didn't mean to read that in a Southern accent. And then earlier I came out to talk to her and I meant to talk at a normal volume like this. And I came out and I was like, I was thinking, and I was like, whoa, I had to like stop. And I'm like, I don't know why the hell I just started talking so loud.
We just looked at each other and we're like, what was that?
It felt like one of those things where nobody else is home and you wake up and you don't interact with anybody until like your significant other gets home from work at 6 p.m. and you haven't spoken a single word all day. And then you go to talk and you're like, how good work do? And you're like, what was that? Do I even know how to talk anymore? But yeah. All right. Moving right along. Let's see what other questions we got. Unless you saw any questions that you would like to answer.
Not yet.
Let's see some people start putting questions for Nina. While I'm answering this one, everybody put some questions for Nina. and you'll answer it with jazz hands.
The whole time I just do this.
Okay. Oh, I like this one. What's a place you would love to go moto camping with your Rebel 1100? I don't think I have a specific place, but I do just want to do more of that in general. Right now, I'm trying to work on a way to put more storage on the 1100 so that until she is ready to ride on her own, the distance that it would take to get to anywhere that we can camp, until then, having enough storage on the Rebel 1100 to, so like this, the saddlebags that are on there now were just barely enough. And by just barely enough, I mean we had to like sacrifice bringing some stuff when we did our weekend trip and stayed in a freaking hotel. So we would obviously need way more space to go camping. So I'm working now on more storage options so that we can do something like just getting away for a weekend camping trip or something like that. As of dream spots or where we want to go, I'm not sure. But since we haven't done it before, I think the plan would be starting off as close to home as possible and then working our way out. So I've looked up a couple places that are in southern Maryland that are only like 45 minutes away. And that's one of those things where we can start getting our feet wet with camping. But also if we show up and I'm like, oh my God, we forgot something and this is not great, I can be like, all right, babe, well, start foraging for sticks for the fire and I'll head home and I'll be back in an hour and a half. And that way we can kind of refine what we need to bring that we didn't, what we don't need to bring that we did, and just overall get a feel for what we need and then work our way out from there. So I feel like starting off like 45 minutes away at some of the, there's like campsites in southern Maryland that are like actual like camping sites. They're not like RV parks or something like that. So like you can still get a feel for what camping actually is, but not to the full extent. Get comfortable with that and then probably move a little bit further down southern Maryland because I feel like that has the most stuff. And then once you get comfortable with that, we can go an hour out to the mountains in western Maryland or 2 hours out, maybe do some beach camping at Assateague Island in Ocean City. For those of you who don't know, there is a place called Assateague Island in Ocean City, Maryland, which is where we went to Bike Week. And Assateague Island has wild horses. So you can, it's like first come, first serve. So people get there super early in the morning so they can get there for the weekend. But once you get in, you can camp on the beach, like on the sand, set up your tent and everything. And there are literally wild horses and wild ponies that are walking around on the beach and all kinds of stuff. So that would be super, super cool to do. So long story short, no like dream places or ideal places, but we definitely want to start doing stuff with moto camping, and it'll just start off with camping as close to home as possible while still actually being real camping, and then just slowly working our way out and kind of perfecting the art of things.
Yep.
Any questions for you that popped up?
Yeah, a lot actually, kind of unexpectedly. All right, so
unexpectedly. She always forgets that you guys like her. She thinks she's just here as a pretty face in the background, and then she's like, wait, oh, that's right. They're actually here for me too.
All right, so there's a couple questions popping up. They're all related. Link wants to know when's the next video. Mike wants to know when the status is on my license. And am I working? We want more videos, etc., etc. So it kind of all comes together. So my last video, I posted that I got laid off. But then I found a job pretty quickly as a barista. So I've been working as a barista in a mom and pop coffee shop for 2.5 months, 2 months now.
Yeah, make sure you don't give away too many details because there's creeps.
Yeah, exactly. So I have moved on from that job now. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw my story. I now have a new job, which I'm starting tomorrow. I'm super excited about.
Woo!
It's definitely a step up, and it's going to be way more comfortable in terms of time that I have available in my life, because I was working morning shifts at a coffee shop. And if you don't know, that means you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, you have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I have had no time because I would just come home and nap and then be totally unproductive for the rest of the day. So this new job puts me on a better schedule and is going to give me way more time for just like real life things, which means that hopefully I will have more time to actually film again and get out on my bike. And also the weather, again, I'm not comfortable riding in 50-degree weather. I don't want to get out there in 30-degree weather and not be able to feel my hands. So video is coming soon, tentatively, I'll say, because I don't want to put a date on it, put pressure on it and stuff. But yeah, I'll be working on some stuff as soon as I get settled in this job, the weather peaks up a bit, and I figure out what kind of time I have. But hopefully with the new job also. So I want to be able to take, I'm going to do an MSF course. And I'm going to take one that has Rebel 250s. I'm going to call and find out if I'll be able to use my own bike, because it doesn't say on the website.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Oh, did you find a specific place?
Yes.
Because there's the place that's like an hour or something away where you can use your own bike.
Haven't found that one yet, so show me that later.
I think it's in Lexington Park.
Okay.
So the idea is, not to take over your story, there's like the one place where they use Rebel 250s.
That's what I looked at.
And then there's another place where they either provide your own bikes or provide a bike for you, or you can use your own bike, but it says that make sure that you actually get here legally or whatever.
Yeah.
So if we were to do that, it would probably just be something where, because I think it's like an hour away.
Just leave the bike there.
Well, I was going to say we have the friggin', we have the rear seat for your bike. It would be quite the adventure, but we could ride down. I'll ride the 300 down with you on the back.
I mean, that would work. We could make it happen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad idea. Well, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to take some kind of MSF course or some kind of course before April, and then I'll be fully licensed. Fingers crossed that I pass this time. And then this new job, hopefully I'll be able to actually take my bike some days with this new job. So yeah, I'll be riding more, be able to film more, just generally feel more human than waking up at 5:45 every morning again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be good.
And just to clarify, because she didn't touch on it fully, when she said get it by April, it's because in April, that's when her learners expires. So not to say that we were riding dirty for a little while. I mean, it was only in parking lots, but she like actually has her learners now, but it only lasts 6 months or whatever. So right now, with her having her learners, we can legally ride on the road together. She can be on her bike and I can be on mine because I'm a licensed rider for however many years and whatever. So legally, we can ride our bikes together and it's fine with just her learners. But that expires in April. So she has to, that's why she has to get it done.
Yep.
By then.
And Ben said, my 19-year-old daughter is taking her MSF class and wants a good bike. Would you recommend the 500 and what mods? I only know my 300. So, but from what I hear about the 500 is it's also the 300 and 500 respectively can be the best beginner bikes. So the 500 is good because everyone grows out of the 300 very quickly. So the 500 is perfect if you intend to start riding and then you don't want to purchase a new bike within like 3 years or whatever. However fast you grow and learn on your 300. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say? I think it does. And in terms of mods, depending on her height, but if she's small like me, the Mustang seat. So far, I have literally only had maybe an hour on that seat. It makes the world of difference. I'm like pushed further forward. It's way more comfortable. So I'd highly recommend the Mustang seat. And I don't really have any other mods on my bike so far.
We do have some bar risers for her that will
Yes.
go an inch up and an inch back. Because like she was saying, the Mustang seat sits you closer to the bars, which helps. But she still has a bit of a reach, a bit of a hunch over for it. Yeah. So the risers will bring it up to a more comfortable position. And those are like, I think they were like $30 on Amazon.
Yeah. So I got to put those on. And then T-Rex crash bars are like the number one suggestion I would say to put on your bike. Because if you set it down, you're not going to mess up your brand new bike or whatever it is. So yeah, I'd say Mustang seat, T-Rex crash bars, and risers if you are small or don't. Like I have a very short reach as well. And it's like just enough right now where if I'm riding or practicing for like over 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I do get sore in my back because like you said, I'm like hunched. So yeah, risers are a good idea too.
Good answer. Good answer. And Ben, I saw you, I forget where it went. Ben tagged my mom. He saw her last name and was like, is there related? Yeah, Ben, that's my mom. My parents are always watching the live streams and watching the videos and everything.
It's Mama Birch.
Redneck Ret Vet, what's up? If everybody doesn't know, Redneck Ret Vet is the guy who let us borrow his bike for the Rebel 1100 meet in Tennessee. So thank you once again. And assuming that this comment is talking to me, he said the saddlebags won't work with the aftermarket exhaust you have. Yeah, I know. I don't want to say too much, but we're working on something. We're working on that might, part of the solution to that might be one of the 11 things that I said I have on my list that I need to do / put on / have done to the Rebel 1100. So yes, if and when larger saddlebags happen, there will also, if and when, be everything done to it to allow that to happen. If that makes sense. I don't want to say too much and give stuff away, but I'm sure you pick up the gist. Redneck Ret Vet only found out about it yesterday because I had to stop at the Honda shop to pick up oil for my 2022 Pan America. Did I know that you got a Pan America? Am I forgetting that? I remember you saying that you got a bike, but I forget if I knew that it was a Pan America. Pan Americas are so freaking sick. I love Pan Americas. That's awesome. I probably knew it and forgot, but Ben texted me, thank Nina for me. Love you guys. Stay safe. See you soonish. ... Foreshadowing evil laugh.
Love it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, Redneck Red Vet said, told you on Insta.
What?
He told you on Instagram. You did know it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I remembered I knew that you got rid of the Rebel and got a different bike, but I think I forgot just now that it was the Pan America. Pan Americas are so freaking sick, dude. They're so awesome. Randy Bo Bandy. Hey, just bought my first Rebel 500. I love your channel and your content. Can't wait for spring to start riding it. Hell yeah. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. That's so exciting. Daniel Hapgood. Yo, Birch, love the content. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you.
We got greetings from Newfoundland.
Dang! If somebody put a gun to my head and said, point it out on a map, I wouldn't be able to. But I know that it's nowhere near here, so that's awesome.
And from Ukraine. What's up?
Damn.
That's so cool.
What is up? That's wild. Mm-hmm. Spencer said, how tall are you, Nina? I'm 5'6". What is it? 5'3" and 7/4?
5'2" and 3/4. Okay, I worked really hard on the 3/4.
No, she didn't.
Yes, I did.
I was just gonna look something up and I forget what. Oh, I was gonna go to more comments, more questions from the thing. Matt Rose Knives. Thoughts on the Honda CL500 Scrambler?
What are you doing?
Covering your face so you don't make any faces.
Oh.
You can make faces, you just can't.
Oh, I see. Thoughts
on the CL500 Scrambler? I want one. I want one so damn bad. They look awesome. They still have only been announced in the UK. What is it? Over in Europe and Asian markets, they've been announced. They haven't been announced here. I'm hoping that it happens, but I guess we'll see. If it does happen, I really want to get one. I think it's the perfect addition to the Honda 500 line because now within that 500 and 300 motor, you have every aspect. You have the CB500F for naked style bikes. You have the CB500R for a sport style bike. You have the Rebel 500 for a cruiser. You have the CB500X for adventure style. And now you will finally have the CL500 for scrambler / cafe style. So I think it's a really smart move by Honda because you now have every single style of riding essentially encompassed within that same 500 platform. So really, really excited about that. Really excited to see what people do with it. It's probably the Honda bike that I've been most excited about since the announcement of the Rebel 1100. Because I forget if I mentioned it or not, but I had plans of trying to find a wrecked Rebel 500, another one, and doing like an off-road adventure build on that. Like I wanted to do longer travel front suspension, throw Burley brand stilettos on the back of it, put some like dual sport or knobby tires on it, and just freaking send it. And that got put on hold when I saw them announce the CL 500, because I'm like, oh, if it comes to the US, I don't want to have money tied up in the off-road 500. I want to have the chance to get that. So very excited about it. Literally the most excited I've been about a Honda motorcycle since the announcement of the Rebel 1100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie Postelman's greetings from the Netherlands. Really curious about all the new mods coming up. What's up, Stephanie? I appreciate it. She actually helped me out because she has, I can't say too much, but one of the things that might possibly be a thing that I do to the Rebel 1100, she has done, and I was,
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I almost whispered, but I couldn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Newfoundland is in Canada? Bro, I would have died. Newfoundland, he said, geography lesson time, easternmost province in Canada. In my mind, it was in Europe.
Well, I was thinking Australia, so I was even further.
I think your brain went to New Zealand.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Come on.
Which isn't Australia, but it's like a wannabe Australia. I just get canceled for saying that. Ben said, I started on the CB500F, then bought the CMX 1100D. I didn't know that you started on a CB500F. That's awesome. I've wanted to get one of those for a while. I used to, on my vision board, one of the bikes that I put on there was a CB500F that was like dirt bike style. They put pro taper bars on it, spoked wheels and dirt bike tires, and like a belly pan or scrape, whatever, underneath it. And I was like, dude, a CB500F turned into a dirt bike. That is sick. ZZ said, what up, pimp? Not much. What's up with you, pimp? Link said, I've never gotten to experience that Honda 500 twin. Well, we'll have to change that, All right. What else did I miss as far as questions when I was scrolling?
And Spencer, yes, the Mustang seat would work for you. That would probably be perfect, actually. 5'6". I don't even know if you would need risers. It would like push you forward just enough.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mustang seat would be perfect for you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the Mustang seat on the 1100 still allows you to use the key pop thing to still access the underseat storage, as opposed to like the dual seats. You got to like unscrew the back and everything like that. Sindre said, how are the NBT pants with wind? Love the look of them, but anything that's not at least somewhat windproof is out of the question in Norway. They're great with wind. In fact, I like riding in them in the fall and winter more than I do in the summer. In the summer, I was like, oh, they're light enough, like whatever. But you really realize how thick they are when it's cold out and you're riding. And I'm like, whoa, my legs are warm, but I'm wearing a hoodie up top and my torso is cold, but my legs are warm. Like they're definitely some hefty denim, definitely pretty thick, especially once you put like the knee armor in. That definitely obviously doesn't let wind through. So yeah, they're very warm. I like them a lot.
You got a lot of questions popping up at the bottom.
Sheesh, a lot of questions popping up. Dustin Ty, would you ever get another brand bike? Yes, I would. I'm kind of like a Honda loyalist because it's just one of those like brand loyalty things where every car that I've had except for one has been a Honda or an Acura. Most of the bikes that I've owned have been Hondas. And it's just because I know how well made they are and how reliable they are. And I know that within the same stratosphere of Honda bikes, other makers make them that are technically better. Like, what is it? Like for example, the Honda CB650R versus Yamaha's MT-07. They're in the same category, but the MT-07 is way better. That's kind of a bad example because I have owned an FZ-07, but just within the same realm, like there are certain bikes where even if they're in the same category, like a Ninja 400 versus a CBR 500R, I would take the Honda every time just because I like Honda a lot. But in certain instances where there is a bike that's made that much better, I would consider it. Like I have owned an FZ-07 and I would own that over a CB 650R all day. So stuff like that. Like I would love to own another FZ or MT-07. There's a few Harleys that I would love to own. A couple Harleys that I would love to own if it were in within the budget. What else? Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm drawn to Hondas, but I'm also just drawn to good bikes. So there are certain bikes that are done better by other companies, and I would definitely own those instead. Main one being I would love to own another FZ-07, MT-07, or R7. Let's see here. Ben said, all right, I'm out. I'll message you about a meetup. I saw your text. Yes, yes. And March to May timeline. Yes, definitely let me know ASAP because March to May timeline, there's going to be a bunch of stuff going on. My birthday's in April. I'm going to do my meetup sometime in April or May. I have something going on for about 2-ish weeks in April-ish time frame that will take up all of my time. So yeah, just let me know ASAP. So to Prosperous said, do you know / think if a company will potentially make a bigger tank to throw on the 1100? Highly, highly doubt it. I really doubt it. And even if they did, it wouldn't be worth it. If anything, if you're doing longer trips, I would say just bring cans of extra gas if you think that you'll need them. I mean, you figure if you buy a brand new Rebel 1100 tank, it's like $500 or $600. So if an aftermarket company who can't produce tanks in the mass quantities that Honda does were to make tanks that were bigger, you're talking at minimum $700, $800, $900 probably just for a bigger tank. I don't think anybody would see that being worth it. The only thing that we can hope for is that on the next iteration of the 1100T, it will come with a bigger tank from Honda. I know that's what lots of people were hoping for from the 1100T this time, but we didn't get it. So hopefully Honda sees that feedback and does a bigger tank, because I think the only way that it will be an affordable option is if Honda does it, because they'll be making so many of them at one time. If you get some one-off company that's like a mom and pop, or even like an aftermarket company that's already out there now that's even bigger, you figure they're only making 20 of them at a time. And with something like that, they're probably only making 10 of them at a time to make sure that they even sell properly at first. So you're not getting the benefit of mass production. So I don't see it happening or being reasonable to do so. Like you figure for like the CRF 300 and stuff like that, they make bigger gas tanks, but they're plastic gas tanks. So it's like, how hard can it be to make a mold and make it, For the 1100, I don't see it being that easy. So it'd probably be smarter to just get like saddlebags that have MOLLE attachments and put in cans of gas or something like that. But what do I know also, because I also made a video saying that I didn't think the 1100 was going to be made, and if it was made, it was going to suck, and now it's my favorite bike I've ever owned in my entire life. Redneck Ret Vet, thing that sucks about the Yamaha 700 models is they don't have adjustable front suspension. That's not true. The FZ-07 and MT-07 do not, but the R7 does, and the Yamaha Tenere does. I believe 99% sure that's the case anyway. I would also love to own, that another train of thought, the Tenere 700, one of my dream bikes. I would love to have a Tenere 700.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. Spencer, Birch, do you think the Batwing by Memphis Shades is worth the money, or is there better bang for the buck? I think it's definitely worth the money. I don't have one just because it's not my style, and I'm not doing longer trips where I would need that. But as far as price is concerned, I mean, it ends up being the same price as just the crappy little ones that Honda makes, but you get so much more coverage. You can swap it out easily. So if you're just going around town, you can either have your bike naked or have the smaller gauntlet fairing or whatever. And then when you do a longer trip, swap the Batwing on. I think just the cross compatibility there is worth it in and of itself, but also, so the Honda Batwing, if you, and any other Batwing that aftermarket Batwing that I've seen anyway, there's not a whole lot of options for windscreens. The new Batwing that Honda has the stock windscreen for the fairing, and then you can get a taller one also. But there's just 2 height differences that you can do. With the Memphis Shades one, I want to say they have the traditional, and I'm just talking about like the plastic windscreen that goes on top of the Batwing. I think they have just in the traditional straight up one, they have 3 or 4 different heights. And then they also have a spoiler one. So instead of it coming straight up, it comes up and then curves to shoot the air more over your head. And in that, they have like 4 or 5 different heights. So I think if nothing else, the Memphis Shades is the best option because there's so much you can do with it. You have 7 to 9, if I'm remembering off the top of my head, 7 to 9 different windshield options coming off of the fairing. And it's the biggest one, so you have the most wind protection. And you can easily, within 30 seconds, swap it out to a different, smaller fairing if you want to. So I think just that right there, for me anyway, makes it worth it because I like being able to have my bike adapt to what I need it to do instead of having it set to one thing. So yeah, I would, if I were getting a Batwing, I would go that route. And I've even considered, like, it sucks because we don't have any room here where I could store a Batwing. But if and when I get a garage, I've considered, like, okay, maybe I will get a Batwing. That way I can use the gauntlet fairing that I have now just for everyday use. But then when we do a trip to go moto camping or something like that, I can throw the Batwing on. Only takes 30 seconds to swap it out. And now when we're going moto camping, we have all that wind protection. And yeah. Dustin Todd, what about the XSR? I always forget about the XSR. Those things are definitely dope. I would still get an MT07 or FC07 over it, just because I feel like the XSR holds its value so well that it wouldn't make any sense to go that route unless you just really like the styling of it. What else do we get? Marissa Tweeton said, do you think a Sportster 883 would be a good beginner bike? There's no Rebel 500s for sale in my area. I think it depends on your skill level that you already have going into it and your strength. The Sportster 883 is marketed as a beginner bike, but it weighs more than my Rebel 1100. It's slower than a Rebel 500, but it's a freaking tank. You're going to get way more vibration out of it. I mean, the only reason that I could see an 883 being a good beginner bike is because it has manageable power and it's not crazy fast. Other than that, I don't see the draw for a beginner. You figure something like her Rebel 300 weighs 340 pounds, I think. And the Rebel 500 weighs like 410. The Rebel 1100 weighs 485. And I think a Sportster 883 weighs like 520 or 530 pounds.
Yeah, Serrano says 100 pounds heavier than the 1100.
100 pounds heavier than the Rebel 1100.
And I don't know, but like, what class did they? What bike did I use in my class?
You use the Street 500, which is like 100, 120 pounds less than the 883.
I don't know if it's the same, but I do know a lot of people say, especially for women, that the balance point on a Harley, I think regardless, maybe, I don't know, but the balance points are different too. So it's not just that the bike is heavier, but it's like where the weight is on the bike makes it harder just to hold up, or if you do go down or you drop it, God forbid. But if you did, it's just generally harder to get back up and get going or stay up point blank. So if you have any, like, if you're worried about it being heavy already, thank you, I can see that. If you're worried about it being heavy already, and then the balance point is off, it could be not easy to learn on at all.
Yeah. I think if you're set on learning on a cruiser, if there's no Rebel 500s, maybe look for a Rebel 300. You'll outgrow it sooner, but I think it would be worth it just to start off on that. If nothing else, just to build your confidence when you do go to something heavier, or even look into a, what is it? The Kawasaki Vulcan 650S is another good one. It's going to feel a little bit bigger than the Rebel 500, but bigger in the sense that you have more room to stretch out, not bigger in the sense of big and heavy and oafy like the Harley would be. So I think those are probably the three best options. The Yamaha Bolt is also heavier, kind of like the Harley. So I think, not to sound sexist, but like especially for women, since they're typically smaller and not as strong, whatever, I think a lighter bike definitely helps, because I am a big believer in the fact that the most important thing about the first bike that you get, regardless of what it is, the most important thing is how comfortable and confident you feel on the bike. There's always going to be that fear and whatever, but the fear of the act is one thing. The fear of the bike itself is a whole other. It's normal to have the fear of, oh, I'm learning how to ride a motorcycle. What if I get hurt? What if something happens? But you shouldn't also have that fear in the back of your head of what happens when I drop this 550-pound motorcycle and it either lands on me or I can't pick it back up. Not to mention just how much less maneuverable and smooth it is. So
Yeah.
I would personally steer clear of the 883 as a first bike, just because, yeah, like I said, the draw is that it's not super powerful, but it's still just as heavy as like a Sportster 1200 or something. It weighs more than the 1100. So I would look for something lighter like the Rebel 300, hold out for a Rebel 500, or look for a Kawasaki Vulcan 650S. Or something like that. You could even go cheap and go with the new, not cheap, but I mean like
More affordable.
More affordable. You could get a brand new, what is it that Motos, K's, and Coffee just got? The new Royal Enfield, I think it's a Meteor 350. I feel like Royal Enfields, at least it's easy for us because we have a dealer right around the corner, but I think brand new, a Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is like under $4,000. I might be making that up, around $4,000. And it's a Royal Enfield. They've been around forever. I think it has built-in navigation. Probably going to be about as quick as a Rebel 300. So yeah.
Everyone's kind of like agreeing with you in the comments as well, that like building your confidence is a huge point of learning to ride. And I posted a video about taking my Harley class, and in the video I walked out of the class, I'm bawling my eyes out. I felt wrecked, like I had zero confidence left. Drove the hour home from the class, still crying my eyes out. Literally got home and he's like, go get on your bike, take your 300 out, go into the parking lot. And I'm like, no, I have no confidence. I can't do that. Clearly I don't know how to ride a bike. And within about 15 minutes, I was on my bike and I was switching gears and in the parking lot and totally fine. So having a bike that, like you said, it doesn't scare the ever living out of you, keeps your fear in check, but doesn't scare you so bad that how I was feeling, where my confidence was just destroyed. So something lighter and smaller, especially like if you're the same stature as me or smaller, you want something that's going to keep you safe and is not going to overpower you. Like I saw something recently. It was like, it was about clothes, where it was like, don't let the dress wear you, wear the dress. Same kind of thing. Like, don't let the bike take you. You need to be in control of that bike. So
Yeah, like the first bike that I ever owned and rode was my 1992 VFR 750, and I thought I loved that bike, and at the time I did. But then once I got the Rebel 500, even though the Rebel 500 was, or I guess I technically got the 300 before I got the 500, but either way, I found myself, I owned the VFR 750 for years, and I think I owned it for 2 or 3 years before I got a different bike. And I thought that I was kind of intimidated by riding, but I was actually intimidated by the bike and not the power. I loved the power. But the VFR 750 weighed freaking 530 pounds and it was all top heavy. So the thing from my video intro where I'm dropping the bike, that was that bike. And I just about freaking blew my back out picking it up because it's so top heavy. Your adrenaline's going in the moment. So I like lifted it up real quick and tweaked my back, whatever. And then I found myself being like kind of intimidated by the bike because I'm like, oh shit, like I don't want to drop it again because it's in such good shape. I don't want to mess it up. Like, and it's so heavy. I don't want to drop it again. And I found myself being limited by that. And then once I rode the Rebel 300 and 500 and saw not only how light they were, but how maneuverable they were and how all the weight was down low, I was like, I wish I had started off on something like this and not like, even when I had the 750 and I rode my buddy's CBR 500, I was like, I should have one of these. It's not intimidating to move it around in a parking spot. It's not intimidating to ride it at a slow speed. Like, it's just, and I realized like that was kind of the eye-opening thing for me of like, damn, I thought I loved the 750 and I do, but it probably wasn't the best bike to start on because the bike itself was limiting just from like an intimidation standpoint, honestly. Let's see.
Spencer said, what was the bike Nina yelled at in the hotel room when it screamed past when we were on bike week? It was a collection of sport bikes, but I am determined. My dream bike is a 636. I know nothing about them except for the fact that they make a really, really cool sound. So I can like pick it out. I can hear them. So I'm relatively sure that time it was a 636, but it was a collection.
That one was not a 636.
Oh, was that the Gixxer that went by?
I don't remember what it was because I also wasn't standing there when it went by. It definitely was not a 636, but you remember you didn't get excited because it was a 636. If you saw it was a 636, you would have been like, "Oh my god, 636!" Yeah. You got excited because they were booking it.
Yeah, I've never experienced that in my life. Like occasionally the Baltimore Boys or whatever they're called.
Holy shit!
Oh dang! Jeez.
Yeah, I don't want to get you distracted. We'll touch on that. Thank you. We'll touch on that in a second.
Other than like the Baltimore Boys, when you're on like the highway that's closest to us, they will come up behind you, and I'm talking like you look in your rearview mirror because you hear it, and then they're in front of you already, and they are like half a mile down the road. So they've come up behind me before, so I've experienced that, but I've never been to a track day or anything like that. So I've never seen or heard a bike just boogie like that. So to hear it and then watch them go by, like, was it reckless? Yes. Was it really stupid? Absolutely. But it was cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I was freaking out about, was just like the utter speed and sound at which they were traveling. Nuts to me. I gotta try it one day.
Yes. Vextifer, thank you. $50. Holy shit, you did not have to do that. Congrats on the new job, Nina, and good luck for your progress with riding. Enjoy some tacos or coffee on me. Looking forward to seeing what's in store for both of you. Thank you. Seriously, I appreciate that. You did not have to do that. We could use that for Buckashuck Oyster Night.
Oh, yes, we
next
can.
Week.
Yes, we can. Indeed.
Yes, I appreciate that. We'll use that for a little date night to celebrate her new job. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy. It still blows my mind every time that happens.
I know, it's wild. And in like relation, Paola said, this channel is so focused on motorcycles. I just need to know more about what's your guys' favorite kind of burrito.
Favorite kind of burrito. Ooh, this is a multi-part answer for me, and then we'll pass the mic to you. I used to be a fiend for, damn, what's that place called? California. What's a place where Hangry Joe's is now? California Tortilla.
Oh, I've never been there.
California Tortilla used to have a barbecue chicken ranch burrito. Oh my gosh. Best burrito I've ever had in my life. It's such like a white guy burrito, but it was so freaking good. I would go there just for that. So that was my favorite burrito of all time. But the place that we normally go for Taco Tuesday, which is El Cabrito, I went there one time in a Grom video, but I haven't been back there in a video since. But we go for Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. It's like our little date night tradition. But yeah, they have a steak burrito that is insane. So good. So that one's good. I like burritos that are like loaded with everything. Like I'm a steak burrito guy. So like, even though I just said the chicken one, but if it's not the barbecue ranch chicken, whatever, then it's steak. So like steak, rice. I don't like beans, but I can dabble with beans in a burrito, like some corn, salsa, cheese, jalapenos, like everything just loaded in there. But then this morning I had a breakfast burrito from Rise Up, and that was a scrapple bacon, egg, cheese, and fried potato burrito.
Yeah.
So 3-part answer, but those are my favorites.
I'm not a burrito girl. I don't eat burritos.
Boo!
I'm like trying to think of the last time I had burrito other than the breakfast one. So I guess I'm a breakfast burrito kind of gal.
Yeah.
But I genuinely cannot remember the last time in my life that I had burrito.
Yeah, I don't eat burritos often. Like when we go to Chipotle and stuff, it's always a burrito bowl, not a burrito.
We're just taco people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, see, Jose said I took the Harley Davidson class and those Street 500s are horrible, hence why they do not make them anymore.
They are the worst.
Dang, $10 from Glenn Ferguson. Happy New Year and new adventures when the weather's warmer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everyone's contributing to our little celebratory date night.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. It's so nice.
Oh, Preston's here. What's up, Preston? How you dern? Does my wife like the Navy? She's not my wife, but do you like the Navy?
I love the Navy. Yes, it is. Yeah, I can't say it's my favorite because my 300 was my first bike, but in terms of how easy it is just to get out based on where I am and learning to ride, yeah, Navy is the top.
Yeah, well, that motherfucker's getting.
Paula said, confirmed, Birch is moving to the Southwest, and then said, confirmed, Nina is not coming. Okay, maybe I'll have to try some good burritos. You have to leave me some good suggestions.
What else do we got? Charlie, I own a Grom now, and I did the Harley class. Not a fan at all of the Street 500. So heavy and wide, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. And it truly was the most difficult thing to ride. Like I dropped that thing probably 4 or 5 times in the class, and without like literally one time I was just pulling out of the lineup and right down because it just went and there was no way I could pick it up. Yep. So yes, I'll talk about that for hours. Don't get me started on
that. Griffin said, what license do you need to ride a Honda Rebel 500? So here there's just one license. So in the US, or I guess everywhere in the US, there's just, you get your learners and then you do some tests and you get your license. You can just ride whatever. It's not like other places where you get like your A1 license and your A2 license and you have to start off below a certain CC or below a certain horsepower. The US is kind of reckless, I guess, honestly. Like you can literally have no riding experience, go take a class that lasts 3 days, get your license and hop on a freaking Hayabusa. So
literally,
yeah, it's a little reckless. Spencer said, instead of sending the $100 on YouTube, I just changed my Patreon to, oh yeah, I saw that and I forgot to freaking, it was one of those things. I haven't even thanked you yet. Thank you. Yeah, Spencer switched to freaking $100 a month.
A month?
On Patreon. And it was one of those things where until right now, I kind of forgot that was a thing because I forget what it was. I think I saw it when I had just woken up. Like, I forget what it is. I think it was one of those things like I had just waken up in the morning and I was like checking my emails and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I kind of thought that it was part of like a dream or like it was some sort of like days I was going through. And then as soon as you just said that, I'm like, holy shit, no, that was real. That happened. I totally forgot about that.
When we meet Spencer, we have to go for like the wildest steak dinner on us.
Literally.
So crazy.
Freaking crazy. Thank you. Yeah, see, everyone's saying that they took their MSF course on like something smaller and
Yeah, I know. I want to
later,
take it on
Paolo.
I
Keep
want
the
to take
girls
it on the
warm later,
Navi,
taters.
Oh.
No, taking it on the Navi wouldn't teach
It's a
you
cheat.
anything.
Yeah, it's a cheat. Exactly. The whole point is that, and I said that with my Harley one too. Like, whether I pass or not, if I don't pass, I'm not ready. I gotta learn more. So the whole point is to learn as I go. So.
Yup. Terry Watt said, "Love you all. Love you too." All right, let's go to some more. Couple more questions on the YouTube.
Griffin said, "Is the 500 good for a beginner, like 19 years old?" We just kind of talked about that a couple minutes ago. So you can probably Can you scroll back on lives? Can you do that?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But we kind of covered it a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. But short version is absolutely, as long as you fit on it and you're comfortable, anything with the 500 platform from Honda is like ideal first bike.
Yep.
All right, so here's a good one. Pawamoto said, "Will Honda ever put DCT on their sports bikes?" If I had a crystal ball, I would say no, because I don't think there's a point in putting DCT on a sport bike. And the reason why I say that is people who ride sport bikes hard get quick shifters anyway. So if you're riding a sport bike with DCT, for one thing, sport bikes, I feel like their power band is so weird. Like you have to rev it out to get the power. I think it would be really weird to have DCT attached to that. But also, if you have a sport bike, you're probably getting a quick shifter anyway if you're riding it hard. So there's really no difference. If you have a DCT, and if you have a sport bike, you want to be in as much control of it as possible, I think. So you probably want to be doing the shifting yourself, whether that's with a clutch or not. So I think if you had the DCT, you'd be using your hand controls to shift up and down. So the only difference is using your foot, but without a clutch. So I think the market really wouldn't be there for a DCT sport bike when you can just throw a quick shifter on there anyway.
I think that would be dangerous, frankly, because if you tell a beginner rider, "Hey, there's an automatic super fast thing you can just jump on and not learn to shift with," you're gonna have a lot of young kids on some very fast bikes.
Plus, you figure DCT, if you guys have ridden a Rebel 1100 DCT before, you know that when you're cruising, it typically puts it into a higher gear. And then as soon as you get on it, it'll downshift to where it needs to be. So if you're on a sport bike and DCT has you in sixth gear doing 30 miles per hour, and then you need to pass someone and you roll on it, and just all of a sudden it drops down into second gear and you're in the power band, you're friggin' power wheeling out of there whether you want to or not. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I think that would be pretty tricky to get right. And also, like I said, I don't think the sport bike community is really the target audience for DCT. And if they want to shift quicker or whatever, they would just put a quick shifter on there anyway. And I think lots of the Honda sport bikes, even Honda has a factory option for a quick shifter.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so quick shifters, essentially it's like a sensor on the foot shift lever, and as soon as it senses movement, it cuts power to the motor, so that, because all the clutch is doing is taking the stress off of the motor.
Yeah.
So it just cuts the ignition or fuel or whatever for a split second as soon as it feels that, so you can slam it into gear, and it real quick just takes all the stress off the motor so you can shift without a clutch.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Jose said, "Although I have a 2021 Harley Davidson Road King and love it, but when I took that Harley Davidson class with the Street 500, I went back home and hopped on my Vulcan 900 Classic, and so much better." I bet. Yeah. Daniel said, "Love from Sweden, Europe. Can't wait for the snow to clear." That's crazy. You're watching all the way from Sweden. Thanks for watching.
Babe, Terry the cat has arrived.
Who?
Terry the cat.
Terry the cat has arrived. Oh,
last live. There was a Terry in there, and then we were talking about Terry the cat.
I forgot that we saw Terry that long ago.
I know.
What's up, Terry the cat? Bruce Peterson, "I can't seem to get the user mode dialed in on the DCT. The traction is lowest and power is highest, but what is the suggestion for the other two settings?" Let me see if I can remember what I said I would do on DCT. So power. So I would do power the highest, traction lowest, engine brake lowest, and then I would do the D setting, either a 2 or a 3. So that would give you the most power, the least interference from traction control, the least engine braking, which I think is what helps make the bike not as twitchy. And then D, I would set to either 2 or 3 because that keeps it in gear the longest so that you're not, like I was saying, doing 30 miles per hour in 6th gear. The bike will hold it in gear for longer. So that if I had a DCT, that would be my personal settings. It also helps to do the DCT reset. If you look it up, if you Google it, you'll find how to do the DCT reset. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that essentially resets the computer so that it relearns the way that you're riding and kind of like adjusts the computer to your riding style. So if anything, you could do the DCT reset and then set it to full power, lowest traction, lowest engine brake, and then 2 or 3 for the D setting to keep it in gear longer. And then the biggest thing, especially if I had a DCT, I would do the power commander that I did because that was a game changer for how twitchy the bike is. And I think that would make it a lot easier to do like slow speed maneuvers and everything like that.
Still blows my mind a little bit when you just know everything.
I don't know everything. I just act like I do. And if I don't, then I learn it so that then I can act like I do. Confidence is key.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, story of my channel. Friend said, back it up, Terry, put it in reverse. I love that video. Redneck Retvet, I can attest that if you are over 6'4" tall, even the Rebel 1100 is small. You can ask Birch, as I know he was laughing at me on the way home from the meetup last year. Redneck Retvet is a big man. He is 6'5", 6'6", whatever, and he was riding the Rebel 1100 without forward controls. So yes, the Pan America definitely fits him much better. And if you're that height, you would need forward controls on the Rebel 1100 to be comfortable, I think. Spencer, do you think they fixed the twitchiness on the 23 models? No, they didn't change anything on the 23 models other than the color of them. The twitchiness is just a result of a mixture of Honda's, I think, just a mixture of Honda's throttle-by-wire system mixed with all of the EPA regulations and stuff that make you need oh wow, Rodrigo's here. That make you need lower fuel consumption. So I think it has to do with it cutting fuel or whatever when you get off the throttle. But the Power Commander is a game changer. Like literally, if I were to do it all over and I were buying a Rebel 1100 today for the first time, Power Commander would be the first thing that I did because just even the tune that comes on it straight out of the box is a game changer for rideability of the bike. It gets rid of the twitchiness, it smooths everything out, and makes it more powerful. I feel like that is a must, if for no reason other than this motherfucker.
You are not doing that.
I'm going to beat his ass. Get down.
Right in front of us.
The fucking nerve, dude.
Literally, though.
Litter box paws on my counter. I don't think so. Don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, Power Commander for sure, because the twitchiness I think is just the name of the game with the Rebel 1100 and lots of other throttle-by-wire bikes. So I think it's necessary to smooth everything out. K-Tree Moto, how about that VPN ad? Hope it all works out. So funny you say that. I was not going to do a VPN ad because I don't use VPNs, but then lots of the feedback that I got from that video was people being like, I might use a VPN. Like just because you don't doesn't mean that I might not. And at the end of the day, whatever keeps the channel going, if you can do a brand deal with something that would still be useful, like a VPN, if you can do a brand deal and get some money to keep growing the channel, who are we to say to not grab a few bucks from a 60-second ad read so that you can use that money to go towards a bike? It's also funny because, like I said, I don't use a VPN, but it felt like this full circle moment because they reached back out to me and I hadn't responded because I was still kind of unsure. Then I went over my friend's house that night to help him get his little like YouTube studio set up because he he is starting a channel about the metaverse and all this crazy computer stuff that just goes way over my head. Like, one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to anything computer related and metaverse and all this crazy futuristic shit. And I walked in and he was literally had that VPN pulled up on his computer. And I was like, wait, is that you use that? He's like, yeah. He's like, I use a VPN for everything. And that's the only VPN that I use. And I was like, what the hell? What are the chances? I was like, they reached out to me and I showed him the email and he was like, do it. It's literally the best VPN that's out there. And I was like, oh, damn. So I'll probably, if they get back to me, I'll most likely end up doing it. This was pretty much just a freaking 60-second ad read for them without saying their name. So now all they got to do is pay me and I'll say their name. All right. What else? Sindre said, would you ever consider an electric motorcycle? CF Moto is making a Papio Nova that is basically an electric Grom. I did not know that. I was just looking at the Papio the other day because CF Moto, I feel like, is one of the new up-and-coming companies that I would love to ride some of their bikes. And I saw the Papio and how it was pretty much like the Grom, but then I saw the price and I was like, it's not cheaper. It is cheaper, but not enough to make it worth getting that instead of a Grom, but I would still like to ride it to compare it. But now knowing that they have an electric version coming out, I would love to try that out because electric bikes are fun. I rode the Live Wire and that thing was a hoot. So yeah, I also really want a Suron, but
They're making me want one too, and I don't really have interest in that kind of stuff. I would jump it, maybe.
But yeah, Suron, I would love to get a Suron. I'd probably get a Suron before I got an actual electric bike, but it's one of those things where I don't know if it would be worth it because I don't know how well it would be received by the channel because it's not technically a motorcycle. So it's one of those things where I'm still at the point in the growth of the channel where any money that I spend needs to be on something that I know I'll get a return on an investment from on the channel. And I don't know if that's there for the Suron yet, as much as I would love it. Fran said, get a squirt gun. My kittens run when I pointed at them. You must not know that my cat is from the streets. He doesn't care. I could throw a cup of water on him and he would just lick himself clean. He would love it. He does. He doesn't care. He is from the hood as far as cats are concerned. I found him in a gutter on the side of the highway and he doesn't care about anything.
You can clap, you can snap. Sometimes I'll even just do like this, give him a finger. He'll bite me so fast. He does not care.
And then 30 seconds later, come and cuddle with us. It's like, who do you think you are?
Literally.
Combat Defective, what up? I think your best sponsors would be something that can be related to the channel, but my only advice is don't take on any sponsors without looking into them and making sure they're not a scam. Yeah, 100%. If you guys had any clue how many sponsors I turned down and how much BS I weed out, that's why you've never seen me do an ad read before at all. Yeah. The closest to a sponsorship I've gotten is companies sending me free stuff to put on the bike, or like NBT sending me free pants and stuff. And that's because I legitimately love them, but still haven't done like, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to read our ad because I feel like it has to be something that I believe in and that would be beneficial. So yeah, that's why you don't see me putting BS parts on my bike and doing BS ad reads, because it's just, I'm not selling my soul for a friggin' $2,000 ad read. You know what I mean? I went to a dealer not too long ago, and the tech said that CF Moto is one of the worst bikes they have worked on because of build quality. I believe it. That's just how it is with Chinese bikes. The quality is not quite there compared to Japanese bikes. But from what I've heard, CF Moto is kind of the best of the Chinese made bikes, to where it's the best quality and everything. Pawamoto, having fun out here in Miami Beach. What up, Pawamoto? I answered one of your questions earlier, actually. You asked me about the DCT on sport bikes, and I answered that. So you'll have to rewind and check that out. Charlie Castellano said, I was just on MBT website and was wondering how their jeans are. They're great. They are freaking great. I wear NBT pants when I'm riding. I wear NBT pants when I'm not riding. I love them. They're not like super protective as far as pants go, in the sense that the ones that I wear anyway aren't the Aramid ones, but they do now have Aramid lined ones. But they're super stretchy, super comfortable. You have armor in the knees and the hips. The hip armor isn't that much. It's just like a little foam pad, but I put whatever armor they use in Engine Hawk jackets fit perfectly in the hip pad. So I use that. The knee armor is great though. And it's like 16-ounce denim, way more protective than whatever ripped jeans I was wearing before. Like I said, they also have the Aramid lining in them now, or they have an option for that. Super comfortable. Could you maybe get pants that are like legit, like thick friggin' whatever $300 riding pants they have? Yeah, but at the end of the day, the best gear is whatever gear you wear, and they're so freaking comfortable that I wear them all the time. And I just wouldn't wear the big clunky whatever the hell else there is. So yeah, I have an olive pair, a khaki pair, and a black pair, and I love them and I wear them all the time. So I definitely recommend them. Also, I mentioned in one of my recent videos I was wearing the NBT hoodie. That thing is freaking great too. It literally looks and feels like a normal hoodie, but it has Aramid lining in your impact areas, and it has a built-in back protector, elbow protectors, and shoulder protectors, and it has like the elastic here so that wind can't get up it. Has zippers on both sides of the hand pocket, so I can put my GoPro in there and it won't fall out. We both have the armored flannel that has the same thing, Aramid lining, comfy, fits great, just like a normal flannel. Has CE rated protection in the elbows, shoulders, and back. Freaking great. That's one of those companies that, like I said, I would not be promoting if I didn't actually love them. So yeah. And if you want to try it, use code BIRCH at checkout for 15% off. Not only does it get you 15% off, but a small percentage of it comes back to me to help the channel. And like I said, I don't do paid ad reads. I just promote shit that I like.
Good stuff, yeah. And I don't know how many women we have in the chat, but their stuff fits well. Like all the armor padding for my flannel jacket that I have fits in all the right places, even though it's technically a men's fit. So, but I'm gonna start begging him to come out with the women's line.
No, they have it. They have it in the works.
Good.
They have for a little while.
Because I want the pants, but all the girls I see wearing the pants wear belts with them because they're low rise. I need some high rise armored pants.
Yeah. All right, what else we got going on? Ken said, that's it. Birch, the Honda ECU cuts the fuel map to 0 at all RPMs in every gear when you close the throttle. Front end dive is the regular result. Yep, exactly. And the Power Commander totally fixes that. God, I love the Power Commander. Cannot wait to see what happens when I get it dyno tuned. It's going to be a friggin' beast. Little Fetus, what up, man? Pawamoto, hey, y'all hit the like button for Birch? Yeah, do that. Spencer Higgins said, what's your view on the CB650R? I don't know why I said your last name as if there's any other Spencer. But anyway, CB650R is pretty dope. And I believe you're talking about like the so the CB650R, not the CBR 650. So like the Neo Cafe, I think they call it. I think it's super cool. If I were shopping for a bike in that category, though, I would probably go for an FZ07 MT07, just because I like the more hooligan aspect to it. I like the torquey parallel twin motor or whatever versus the like heavier, and you kind of got to rev it out more 4-cylinder in the CB650R. I've never actually ridden a CB650R. Jaden says hi. Hi, Jaden. That's my niece. Hello. I've never ridden a CB650R, but I've ridden a CBR 650R, which is like the sport bike version of it. And I liked it. It had decent power. I just remember the CBR 650 feeling kind of toyish. Like compared to a 600cc bike, it just felt very narrow and kind of like plasticky compared to like a full blown like 600cc. Oh, my watch is hearing all of this and typing it out. It felt very narrow and small and like compared to a regular 600. But if you're looking for a more upright seating position and stuff like that, I liked it. So I would assume the motor feels identical in the CB 650R, and it probably just has a more upright seating position. So yeah, and the styling is crazy. I feel like there's not really a bike that looks like that out there. So they are pretty dope.
For my ladies out there looking for riding gear, I have one company. I have not bought anything from them. I have not tried anything from them. However, I did consider buying their riding pants and measured my specific, like my waist, my inseam, whatever you got to measure. And they looked like they would fit literally perfectly. They also have just come out with a higher rating of gear. And Doodle on a Motorcycle, who's one of our favorite YouTubers, does follow them. I haven't seen her post anything about their gear or like the level that it is.
I think she's worn their pants before, but I don't remember what she said about them.
Okay. Well, Great Lakes Supply Company, they're on Instagram. It's a woman-owned company, and she has a lot of good gear out specifically for women. But I did note them being a lot more expensive than anything out there on the market. But if you have the budget, again, I personally have not tried them, but I do know that they would fit. Like they have a measurement that's perfect for my stature. So you can definitely check them out on Instagram, and all of her links are in her bio. And I think that they are, I mean, they look like great pants. They look like great quality. They are just a little bit more on the expensive side because it's like, I think it's just pretty much her running the team and running her thing. But if you're looking for gear, I think it was Stephanie said, something that's not hot pink or bulky, that would be a good option until MBT drops his women's line, because I'm all over it. Yes. I'm all over that.
So yeah, that was Great Lakes Supply she was talking about. And then I believe there's also, I think I've heard of Pando Moto or something like that. I think I've seen some other females rocking that, but I haven't really looked into it before because I'm not a female.
And then Combat Defective said, my wife said that she thought about making a channel called Can I Ride in This? I will eventually be adding gear reviews into my channel because it is such a, it's a small market. I don't think there's a lot out there. And if what is out there kind of sucks, because all of my gear is men's. Even my shoes are men's. I just bought them in a size 5 instead of a size 7, which is my usual shoe size. So yeah, I will eventually be doing that, so that hopefully there is more information out there about, like, because you can buy men's stuff, fine, it fits, whatever, but the issue is the gear in the right places? Is it putting me like this when I'm riding, where my shoulders are up to my ears or whatever it is? So eventually I'll get to that. Maybe that'll be a good winter video, actually, because I have a decent collection of gear now that I could actually showcase. So
agreed. What website is it looking at? Yes, that was the one I was looking at. Terry said, oh yeah, who do you watch on YouTube, Birch? It's a good question, and I posted about it on Instagram, but I don't think I ever made a post about it on YouTube. But I made some updates to the channel, like the channel homepage itself, coming into this year. And one of the things that I did was I added, so when you go to my page, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's now a What is Birch Watching section. And then there's also a tab at the top that shows the same thing under featured channels. So channels that I watch and I take inspiration from are listed there. So I think right now I have her channel and A Topper, my friend Toppy, listed on there. And then I also have, we've been watching this channel Night Ride a whole lot, probably our favorite people out right now.
Yeah.
They're in Poland and they do a lot of stuff with drift cars, but they have this dope garage where they're building cars and they do their own welding, their own painting, all this stuff. And they build just like hood rat drift cars. Like they have a V8 Miata, they have an S13 that's turboed, they have this E30 BMW that they've wrecked like 5 times and they just rebuild it every time.
Kevin.
And they have Kevin, this like little red van that they're trying to power with a motorcycle that's in the back of it. and they're just like genuinely good dudes and fun to watch. And they're in Poland, and they go during the winter, they go street drifting, and them and their buddies, there's like 8 of them in a line drifting like mountain roads, but it's all really cinematic, like super great. We love them. I watch a lot of Danny Duncan. He's like the OG, just like the greatest, will never get old YouTuber. So yeah, so Night Ride, Danny Duncan, Brian636. I watch a lot of him. He is a stunt rider from Chicago, but he also does like this thing called Hood Eats, where he does different like rides through different hoods in Chicago, but tries out local food places and gives a history lesson along the way. Misguided Motorsports. We also watch a lot of. That is so funny. It's a channel that they just started. A shop that Brian636 opened, and his brother's a mechanic, and they work on bikes there. And it's just the funniest like vlog day in the life stuff of running a motorcycle shop. We watch a lot of Doodle on a motorcycle. Anthony Panza is really good. He doesn't post as much anymore, but Anthony Panza is really good. He does anything from BMX to working on Banshees and wheeling dirt bikes and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't remember who else is on there, but anything that I think is worth telling people about is on my Who Am I Watching tab on YouTube now. So good question. Brian Stout. Hey, Birch, love your content. You guys pretty much sold me on the Navi. Wondered if you thought a Rebel 300 would be the logical next step, or should I just jump to a 500? I think if you're confident on the Navi, either one would work. I think if you're already confident on the Navi, it wouldn't be out of line to say you go straight to a Rebel 500. It just kind of comes down to what you could afford at the moment, really. Once you're comfortable on the Navi, I think you could go straight to a 500. You could do a 300 though if you're looking to save some money and make sure that you are going to be confident. Just know that you'll probably outgrow it quicker than you would a 500. So I think it really just comes down to whatever you can afford. Either of them is going to be much more capable than the Navi though. So it just comes down to kind of personal preference. If you can afford the 500, I go straight for the 500 though. I don't think there's anything that would be preventing you from going straight to it once you're proficient with the Navi. You need to add Cage Free Moto to your watch list. Oh, that came from Cage Free Moto. We'll have to check out your channel. At first, I was like, oh, we should look into Cage Free Moto. I wonder who suggested that. And I looked and it was Cage Free Moto. That's funny. Julio said, thanks for the live chat, guys. Leaving from work in 5. Nina, best wishes on your new job tomorrow. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julio. Have fun at work, if that's a thing. Stephanie said, Pando Moto has a great legging you can wear under your own clothes, but I'd rather not wear my nice jeans. So that's the thing. I didn't realize that they were leggings that go underneath.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of that too, where it's like a legging style for women. Like, I want pants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm glad that these riding leggings saved my legs, but they didn't save my pants. This is stressing me out. Life with Style. Bro, you are still alive. I was at work, got off work, came home, made pizza, and now eating pizza. Yeah, it has been almost 2 hours, hasn't it? We should probably get off here soon. I want to do like a little drive around. I've realized that part of my winter sadness and restlessness comes from the fact that there's never anything to do, so I never leave the house. So I try to make it a point to leave the house every day if I can. I feel like we should just go for a little drive.
That's like our favorite thing to do right now is to just, I mean, we've always done it. That's been our thing since we've known each other, but it's nice. We just go in the neighborhoods, look at all the houses, dream about all the houses, and come home.
Yep.
Oh, Terry the cat's got to go. Bye, Terry the cat.
See you, Terry the cat.
Can you please change your username to Terry the cat? Please.
Oh, man. Oh, Matt said, can't wait for Lean Back in Chirac. Are you going this year? Maybe I'll tag along and I'll be that guy riding and not doing literally anything. Life with Style. There is a Rebel 500 in Dallas for sale for $4K. If it's in good condition, jump on it because $4K is like pre-pandemic prices on the 500s and people are asking crazy money for them now. Taking any trips this year? I got a few spots set up. Key West in March, West Virginia, Maine, and Toronto so far. Gixxer is all set up for touring. That's sick that you have the Gixxer set up for touring. That's dope. We don't have any trips definitely set in motion, but there's definitely a lot of stuff that I would like to do. I'm assuming the Rebel 1100 meet is going to be in Tennessee or somewhere in that area again. So we'll definitely be going down there for that, as long as the dates line up with what we're doing. I'd like to take a trip down to see my family in North Carolina on one of the bikes for the first time this year. On, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
There's some stuff in the works for this year that I think will make taking trips much easier. I'll leave it at that. Definitely want to take the bike to Bike Week again in Ocean City.
That was so much fun. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Last year, there was a drift event in New Jersey that I was going to ride out to, but it ended up being the same weekend as her class. So I didn't. But if they do that again, I think it's in like Englishtown, New Jersey or something like that. If the drift event happens there again, I think it would be sick. I think it's only like a 2 or 3 hour drive, probably less for you since you're in Delaware. Excuse me. I think it would be dope to take the bike out to a drift event. Some camping trips, probably take another ride or two out to Western Maryland. Frederick.
Love Frederick.
What's the word I'm looking for? Damn. Deep Creek. Deep Creek. I almost said Great Lakes. Deep Creek. I've had lots of requests for Tail of the Dragon. I don't think I might not do actually Tail of the Dragon because I feel like it's so touristy that it can get kind of sketchy, but I would like to go to that area and do some of the roads around it, if not also doing Tail of the Dragon. There's lots of places I want to go. It's just where can I afford to go and where logistically does it make sense to go, you know? Would a Grom be too small for someone around 300 pounds? I don't know. I mean, we've ridden around on the Grom with the two of us on there, so it can definitely handle the weight. I would say, if anything, a suspension upgrade would probably help. And then I would say it should be fine because, I mean, there's people that are bigger than that riding around on Navis and stuff. It's just a matter of making sure that it works for you. I think the power is not an issue. I just know the suspension on the Grom is a bit soft. So if anything, just do some upgraded suspension so that, yeah, you should be good to go.
Little said he's 275 and he rips that Grom like crazy. Yeah. So you'll be fine, I think.
Yeah, you're good to go. Oh, damn, you're only 20 minutes from Englishtown? Yeah, I'll for sure let you know. Last year, there was actually a guy, I think he might have sold his 1100 by now, but there was a guy who had an 1100 who also drifts. I think he even competed in the drift thing there. And he was like, dude, if you come to the drift event, I'll give you a ride along. And I'm like, hell yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make that happen. He has a 240 SX.
That's dope. Yeah,
trying to make that happen. JR, thinking of buying the NBT hoodie, just wanted to get your opinion on fitment. I float between a large and extra large and regular hoodies, but my riding jacket is a large. Thoughts? I'll grab mine.
Because they're pretty true to fit, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them entertained.
Hi, guys. Jazz hands. We're back. Terry said, something in the works to make travel easy. Oh, the 1100 is about to have a sidecar. That would be amazing. That would be so cool, but I feel like also a little scary. I'm like happier to be on the back with my sissy bar. Oh, and hi from Thailand. That's so cool. What's up? And Tail of the Dragon, yeah, combat defective. I think Tail of the Dragon is genuinely a bit of a stupid choice especially to take a bike on, just because of all the other riders. Like you can trust yourself on the road as much as possible. You could be the best rider in the universe, but you're riding with people who are not, and who are like, what's his name? That guy, is it Dan the fireman? Is that his name? He does all the videos of people literally crashing on Tail of the Dragon and slowing it down and being like, oh, what happened here? Oh, he crossed the double yellow going 90. So yeah, I think Tail of the Dragon might be cool to do in like off season in a car and not to drive fast, just to see the sights. But like when we were in Tennessee, we did Raccoon Mountain with Ben, and that was like just as beautiful, and we were not in any danger in any way. So,
all right, boom, NBT hoodie fit check. This is a medium. Obviously, you've seen my build before. I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a tall day, but pretty lanky, and it fits freaking perfect. I'm trying to like.
What size is it?
This is a medium. So I'm super lanky, and you can see even with my arms extended, the sleeves are good. It doesn't come down super far, which is nice. I like that with riding stuff because if it doesn't come down super far, then when you're sitting down, it doesn't bunch up, you know? But it still comes down to my shirt. It's a little bit baggier in the body, but still, I would say slim fit. You know, it's not super baggy, but it's not super tight. You got a lot of range of motion. Elbow pads, perfect positioning. Start up here and go all the way down to here. And that's with my arm bent all the way. When you're riding, it's right here, right above your elbow, and comes all the way down there. Shoulder pads. I do kind of have to shimmy the shoulder pads up a little bit just because my torso is so narrow that they sit a little bit lower. So if you have broad shoulders, it'll definitely work out good for you. So I just kind of shimmy them up and they're good to go. Back pad. And I believe it's all the CE level 1 stuff. And then if you want like better armor, CE level 2, or any of like the ghost armor stuff, I'm sure you could get any of the normal stuff and it'll fit. And yeah, like I was saying, pockets on both sides are zippers. So it's a pass-through pocket like a normal hoodie, but they zip up so you can hold stuff in there and not worry about it falling out. Pocket's big enough that I can put my vlogging setup of my GoPro in there, no problem. They do come with drawstrings, but they were pretty long, and I took them out so they wouldn't be flapping around when I'm riding. And then you got the hood. Literally looks just like a normal hoodie, you know? Only thing is I've seen with lots of hooded stuff, it will have like the magnet in the hood. This one doesn't have the magnet to keep it down, but it doesn't flap around when I'm riding because it's not big enough to really catch any wind. So yeah, I am 5'10", 5'11", super lanky. My arms are longer than the average. I think I have like a 6 foot or longer wingspan, and you can see it's still long enough. And yeah, 5'10", 5'11", and I'm like a lanky 160.
Do you usually wear a medium in other hoodies? That's what he asked.
Yes,
yeah.
Normally.
So they're true to or fit to true or true to fit or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, hold on.
So I would say if you're a large, normally in normal hoodies, and you like the fit of a large, then it would work. And if you want like a baggier fit, to go for the XL. That would be my assumption, but. Should I bring back the jazz hands? Can someone please tell me what the toe cheese of the dragon is? Because I've never heard of that. You keep leaving me with everybody and I just get nervous. I said, should I bring back the jazz hands?
So this is the hoodie that I normally wear. This is I think it's from Old Navy. This is a medium also. So you can see, if anything, this is just a little bit slimmer through the torso and probably comes down a bit further. Or actually, this one might not even come down as far. Honestly, they fit pretty similar. If anything, these sleeves are a bit shorter. You can see when I do that, you can see my watch, whereas the riding hoodie covered it so that you can reach your arms out and have the full protection. And I would say that this cuff is also looser on this one, whereas one of the first things I noticed about the NBT is that it's tighter, and I loved it because when it's tighter, it doesn't let the wind go in. And if you have winter gloves, it's easier to get them to go over the cuff and stay over it so it doesn't let wind up your sleeve. So yeah, this is a medium Old Navy hoodie. You can see that this hood's probably even bigger. So the other hood's a little bit smaller to help it not catch wind, but
you could also always probably very easily put a magnet in the other one.
I don't even think it's worth it because it doesn't have the issue.
Because it's right.
Yes, you can see, if anything, this one's a bit slimmer through the torso and shorter sleeves, but they're both mediums, so I'd say it's pretty true to fit.
Yeah. He said thanks. He's going to go with the large. And then exchange, worst case scenario.
Yup.
That works.
And of course, don't forget to use code BIRCH at checkout for 15% off. All right, what else we got going on? Uncle Mark said, I see a job opportunity for you on Price is Right. John said, don't forget the butt crack of the dragon.
Yeah, I just asked them what the toe cheese of the dragon is too, because I didn't understand, but they're just making fun of Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah, they're trolling you.
Yeah. Because I was talking about how Tail of the Dragon is just dangerous and not worth the views or whatever. I don't want to see that tree with all the parts. I don't want to see it.
Yep.
I really don't.
Hi from Saudi Arabia. Damn. Thanks for watching, Hussein. Sindre said, thoughts on doing your own armored riding merch? I had thought about it. It would never make sense for me to make my own riding gear, but I think it would be really cool to find a way to do a collab with NBT to do like the hoodie that I was just wearing with the Life of Birch logo, but do it on one of their armored hoodies. It would just be like a logistic thing to figure it out. Because it wouldn't really make sense for me to order the hoodies to me and then put the logo on and then send it out. But I don't know if he has the logistics set up to where if somebody places an order, he can put the logo on it. You know, I feel like it would have to be like a made to order type deal. Just because who knows what would actually sell of it. But I wouldn't want to put extra stuff on him if it were even a thing that would happen. But it also wouldn't make sense to have it sent to me for me to do it just to then send it out, and we would be wasting shipping money. So I think it would be cool, but I think it would take some figuring it out.
Pause for the craziest story ever. Combat Defective says, we went to the Devil's Triangle and my wife went off the side of the mountain, went to the ER, found out she was pregnant, and now we have a new baby we named after the motorcycle wreck.
Holy crap.
That is wild. Thank God both wife and baby are okay. So thankful to hear that.
That is nuts.
But what a wild story.
Yeah.
That baby forever just having the craziest story ever. That's so wild.
That's insane.
Well,
holy
congratulations
crap.
on the new baby, and I'm very glad that both wife and baby are okay.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Sheesh.
Such a crazy story.
Man.
Like, how do we find out about this kid? Oh, my wife's a badass. Like, there's
right.
no other way to put that.
Oh, and I missed this. Santi Pop says, hi, love to see your video. I'm your fan from Thailand. Hell yeah. Thanks for watching from all the way over there. That's so crazy.
I did say hi. I said hi to Thailand for you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I heard you say something about the comment about the sidecar.
Oh, yeah. It'd be so cool. But kind of sketchy, though. I said I would be happier just with my sissy bar on the back.
Yeah. All right. We're over 2 hours in. Let me see if we have another question I can answer from the YouTube stuff. And then we'll probably wrap this up so we can go about our day.
Yeah, it's dinner time. Because
I also keep forgetting that at 8:30 in the morning, there will be a construction crew here tearing out the ceiling of our bedroom, closet, and bathroom because of a leak from our upstairs neighbors. So they'll be tearing everything out, re-drywalling everything, and it'll be chaos. So we have to move everything out of there to a place where it won't get messed up.
Dusty.
So that will be great.
And I really start that job tomorrow. That's kind of setting.
Oh, yeah. And she starts the job tomorrow.
Yeah. I gotta get ready.
Yes. What music do you listen to? Everything. And everybody always says that. And I think I've answered this question before, but everybody always says they listen to everything, but I literally listen to everything. Anything from metalcore to rap to old school Garth Brooks to friggin' pop to everything. I actually, if you go to my Instagram or the description of any of my recent videos or the About Me section on my page, actually, no, I put it all under, this is easy. If you go to lifeofburch.com, it will pop up with my link tree, and one of them is Birch's Bangers, and it's a playlist that I made. It's not super updated. I made it a few months ago, but it's a playlist of what I was listening to at the time. So it'll give you an idea of what I listened to. And then lately, I've also been listening to a playlist by Night Ride, that channel that I said we watch a lot of. They have really good music in all of their videos, and they made a playlist of all the music that they put in there, and that's what I've been listening to a lot lately. Katie Che said, I can't watch live. I'll catch the replay later, but just wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello, hello. Thanks for popping in. Sorry to hear, Birch. That happened to me back in November. Buy some plastic wrap from the store and wrap anything you don't/can't move. It really helps prevent a mountain of dust on your stuff. Good call. Yeah. It's actually a really smart idea.
I think I'm going to take I have like a clothes rack, and I'm just going to take a massive blanket and put the blanket over all the clothes.
Am I looking forward to riding any specific bike that is coming out in 2023? If Honda brings a CL500 over here, that's the bike that I'm most excited about riding. I haven't really seen a whole lot of bikes that are supposed to be new for 2023. There's a lot of bikes that I want to ride in 2023, but I haven't seen a whole lot of new models for 2023 that I want to ride. Yeah, I would love to get my hand. Oh, so I've seen rumors that they're coming out with a Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 instead of the 411 that it is now. I would love to ride one of those, because one of the things that held me back from going to look at/get a Himalayan is how slow I hear they are. So the 450, I feel like, could be the differentiating factor that could push it over the edge. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of bikes that I want to ride, but I don't think any of them are new models for 2023.
Look at Combat Defective's comment of the baby's name.
Ashton. Ash like the tree. Din means a loud crash. Jordan. Jordan is the one who descends from the mountain. Iron. My wife was riding her Iron 883 is her name. Holy crap, that's badass.
That's so cool.
That is so badass. Dang. That's sick. All right. Well, on that note, that's dope. Let's close it out, because I answered most of the questions on YouTube. We're at 2 hours and almost 12 minutes, and we got a lot to do. She has a new job that she starts tomorrow. We got construction on the house tomorrow. Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for watching and hanging out. It's always crazy seeing that we can consistently have over 50 people watching at any given time for 2 hours on a live, because we're really not that cool. But thank you for thinking that we are. So, yeah, I think that's it, unless you have anything to add.
No.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the Patreon members for making all of this possible. And if you want to help in the biggest and best way, especially through these tough winter times, make sure to check out patreon.com/LifeOfBurch. You can pledge your monthly amount and get behind the scenes access, early access to videos, and much, much more. But like I said, if you're not able to do that, I totally get it, because times are tough for all of us. You can also support the channel in a non-monetary way by just liking the video, commenting, and telling a friend about it. Other than that, we will catch you on the next one. Love you guys. Peace. I can never get it first try like that when I'm filming an actual video.
So impressive.
What the hell? Dude, how I can never get it first try filming an actual video, but then live I can do it? Do I just need the pressure of it?
I guess so.
All right. Love you guys. Bye. Peace out. What the hell?